Hi there. So let's quickly look into the fastest way you can get your German passport in 2026. For a recent time now, the German government has been working hard on relaxing the immigration rules in Germany to attract foreign workers, like foreign skilled workers, to Germany to come to Germany to live and work here and eventually settle here and go on to becoming a German citizen. So they've been working really hard to relaxing a lot of the German rules, German immigration rules. You know what I mean? On the flip side as well, the German immigration system is not is frowning on the people that are coming here to apply for asylum. So for people that are coming here to apply for asylum, they're making it even more and more difficult for them to be able to come here and settle here. So basically, if you're coming here as an asylum seeker, your case will be fast tracked and you will be shipped back to your country. You know what I mean? But if you're skilled worker, you want to come to Germany to live and work here. There are easier German immigration pathways you can take to come here. You can go on to becoming a German citizenship in just a few years. Do you know what I mean? And for a minute, right? It used to be 3 years. You can get the German citizenship in 3 years. That means you must be able to show that you're well integrated into the system. And by showing that you're well integrated into the system, you would have to show that you have the German language certificate of C1. Do you know what I mean? The German language certificate of C1 is considered a native speaker. Do you know what I mean? But recently they just scrapped that law. The new government that come into power, they've scrapped that law, citing that the German passport is not for sale, that 3 years is a very short time for foreigners to get the German passport. So they're taking it back to how it was. It used to be 8 years, but then they cut it down to 5 years. So now they're taking it from 3 years back to 5 years. Now there are requirements you need in order for you to get um, for your German application procedure to be quick. You would have to get all the requirements so that when you make an application, the immigration authority don't come back to you and tell you, oh, this and that document is missing, that you should get them sent to them. Things like that can delay your applications a lot. So that's why it's important before you submit your application, you should double check or triple check your list of documentation that you have everything right. And one thing a lot of people keep leaving out of the application is something called the Arbeitgeberbescheinigung. When you're submitting your application for citizenship, part of the requirement you will need is pay slip, 6 months pay slip, and that you have work contract as well. But one thing a lot of people keep missing out is something we call Arbeitgeberbescheinigung. It's basically a form that your employer have to fill out and sign that says you're currently employed with them. Do you know what I mean? And the two probably show your how much you earn. But essentially, it's just your employers stating that you're currently employed with them, because anyone can formulate pay slip or formulate what is it called, work contract. Them things could have been obsolete by the time you're applying. So there's something they always come back to ask you, which is the Arbeitgeberbescheinigung. So before you submit your application, you should go to your employer, even if you can't. It's not listed on the based on the town you're living in or the city you're living in. If it's not written on the your for also under Behold's website that you need to submit it, it's important for you to do it. It will only cost you 5 minutes. Message your Arbeitgeber, and if the most Arbeitgeber have the form already, so they just fill it out and send it to you, email it to you, or send it to you on WhatsApp on PDF. You print it out and attach it to your documentation. It's easy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So these are one of the important documentation, and also your Renteversicherungsverlauf. Renteversicherungsverlauf, details how long you've been paying taxes in, or you've been contributing to the pension system in Germany. You know what I mean? So instead of you submitting 60 months pay slip, they would not ask you 60 months pay slip when you're applying for German citizenship. I think 60 months pay slip is when you're applying for permanent residence. But for German passport, they will usually ask you for 6 months pay slip. But it's better for you to just submit a request for your Renteversicherungsverlauf. That shows how long you've been paying pension into the German system. If you've been working for 4 years or 5 years, it shows everything there. So it's easy for you. It's easy for the immigration office as well to see how long you've been working in Germany. Yeah. So at the time you're applying for the German citizenship, you need to make sure you have a job. Do you know what I mean? You can't, even if you've worked in Germany for 10 years and you're applying for German citizenship, if you don't have a job, your application will highly likely be rejected. Do you know what I mean? So it's important for you to have a job, and you need to have been living in Germany for 5 years. However, if you've not been living in Germany for 5 years, say you've been in Germany for 4 years or 4.5 years, I will encourage you to apply as well. Do you know what I mean? Because by the time, now most cities are experiencing backlog of applications, so it takes time for applications to be attended to. So there are a lot of people waiting on the queue. So it's important for you to, even if you've been in the country for 4.5 years or 4 years, I will encourage you to apply, because by the time it gets to your turn, do you know what I mean, you would have been, clocked 5 years or almost clocking 5 years. So I mean, so even if you're on 4 years, it's even 3 years and 8 months or 3 years and 7 months, you should apply as well. And even if they start attending to you by the time you clock 4.5 years, when they look at it, you have 6 months to go. It should not be a big deal. You know what I mean, to the immigration officer, looking into your application. Yeah. So in order for you not to experience any delay, even right now as well, there are a lot of people that obtain the German citizenship with fake German language certificate, with the fake German language certificate of B1. A lot of people will go forge a certificate and use it to apply. Right now, they going back to everyone that issued German passport in the last 10 years, cross-checking everyone's German language certificate. For anyone that have obtained a German passport with fake language certificate, those passports will be revoked. And right now, if you apply for German passport with a fake language certificate, you will be banned from applying for German passport for the next 10 years. So it makes no sense for you to forge any type of document to apply for a German passport. It makes no sense. You know what I mean? You can basically just go and learn the language, even if it's A2. The minimum certificate you should get is B1, right? But even if you have A2 and you can't get B1, you should use that as well. If you can speak the German language orally, and you're not good with writing it, you should also let the immigrations know about your situation. I'm sure there are a lot of ways they can organize for you to have a speaking session with you, and if they can ascertain that your speaking skill is good, that also pass you off to that you qualify, you have the language skill, you're well integrated to get a German passport. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Another one again, you should not have criminal record, man, or fine that you're currently paying. If you have criminal record or fine you're currently paying, your application would highly likely be refused. If you have a fine or criminal record that you're paying, or you've paid, or you've done time, you should get a lawyer to make the application on your behalf. And for people that are using lawyers as well to apply for German passport, In my opinion, I think it's better for you to apply for the passport yourself. Do you know what I mean? But if your application is taking too long, you've been waiting for too long, and then you can use a lawyer to contact the immigration, and then your lawyer can even take the immigration to court if your application is being delayed unnecessarily for too long. Your lawyer can take immigration to court, and the court will force the immigration to make a decision on your application. You know what I mean? So, but to make the application on the initial stage, I think it's better for you to do it yourself. You know what I mean? In my case, I used a lawyer, and it cost a lot of money. And after the whole process, I can tell you that it made no sense for me to use a lawyer. Do you know what I mean? It's something you can do yourself. You know what I mean, but when the application start taking too long, then you can use a lawyer to make the court application for you that forces the immigration authority to make a decision on your application. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, as I said, man, the fastest way to get your passport approved, submit all the required documents. Even if you have to go one step further to submit extra documentation that will not cause delay on your passport application, man, you should do so. Do you know what I mean? Because if they have to come back to you and tell you some document are missing, and you have to start running around to get this document to send back to them, by the time you send this document back, they've moved on to other applications. Now they will have to come back to you after they're done, and this just delays your application unnecessarily, man. So you should go through it, and you will also have to get a Bishanigon that says you have Ahmed to an address, and this type of Ahmed you should get is made a Bishanigon Nagvais. I think the Burgermeister in your town have to approve that, and it should show your previous addresses as well in Germany. Do you know what I mean? That makes it. I think it costs about €6 or €10. You should use that as well. Otherwise, they'll come back to you and tell you you need to bring that. So it's better for you to look into all these things. So you can also pay a lawyer €200 or €100 or €300, depending on the lawyer. They will prepare your documentation, and you can submit the application yourself. I mean, you don't need to use a lawyer. You really, really do not need to use a lawyer at the initial stage of your application. You can make the application yourself. Or if the application starts to delay for too long, you can then use a lawyer. Do you know what I mean? To make it cheaper for you. Yeah. So, I believe this information has been helpful to you. If you have any other question regarding how to get your German passport, please write it on the comment section, and we will we'll talk about it. We can have a conversation with you on the comment section, and if there's anything as well you think I'm missing out, you can also let me know in the comment section, and we'll dive deeper into it. And on that note, I will see you on the next video. Have a nice one. Bye. Good night.